Hey y'all, you know what time it is. It's your girl Lisa Sunshine with the Apology Podcast, and I am ridiculously delighted. Why? Because I've got some young gems
Yay.
with me today. They just happen to be from George Jenkins.
Go Eagles!
And I am thrilled because I believe when it comes to mental wellness, when I think about peace and joy, when I think about the life that we get to live, when I think about that, it includes our young people. There are so many different segments of people and segments in life, but if we don't give our young people a voice, if we don't make safe spaces for them, what do we expect of them? So today, I get the joy of interviewing two gems. One just happens to be leaving for college next week, Miss Taylor Gibson.
Yes.
And listen, this jewel played b-ball with my baby. She wanted to do a little maybe volleyball.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Miss Easton Case is another gem that I absolutely love. So I invited these young people to just come and hang out with me today. And we're going to talk a little bit about life and mental wellness. And I think you guys are really going to appreciate what they got to say. So let's just jump right in. Let's just jump right on in. Tell me a little bit about where you are in life right now. Are you still at home with your mom?
I am.
Of course you are. You're getting ready to leave for college.
Back at home.
Back at home. So you left.
I did.
What was that experience like?
So right out of high school, I was in a relationship. So I was kind of on and off with that person. We lived together. I broke up with him, moved to Gainesville to go to school, had my own apartment. After a year of school there, I got back with him. We moved back together again. As of a few months ago, we broke up, so I'm back at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love where this is going. So again, as you are embarking upon the launch, the liftoff, leaving home, what has the last couple of years been like for you?
The last couple of years, it's just kind of been very scheduled, I should say. Like my life right now, I know what I knew what I was doing because, go to school, wake up, sports, whatnot. So that's been pretty normal.
Normal. No, so the sports schedule is normal?
Oh, no.
I didn't think so.
Well, you get used to it, so then you could call it normal, but it's definitely not normal for people outside of sports. It's definitely it's basically, as soon as school's over, you don't go home until like 6 at night.
Right.
And that's during track.
And so is that good to stay active, do you think? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so as you embark upon LSU, my goodness, tell me what's the thing you want to accomplish other than, of course, a 4-year, degree? What is it that made you choose LSU?
I wanted to go to LSU ever since I was like a little kid. Like my parents could tell you, like I've been like, this is the school I want to go to since I was little. So
dream come true.
Yeah,
you got in, and it's not with sports. I just think that's amazing because you are amazing at that.
Thank you.
And so, are you gonna, try a little bit, or are you just gonna do academics?
I'm gonna try to go out for the track team because I want to throw the javelin for their team. So that's what I'm gonna try to go out for.
That's awesome.
Any like people we know that graduated from LSU?
Shakai Richardson and the pole vaulter. I think Mondo Duplantis.
Okay.
Duplantis? I don't know.
I knew Shakari. I just wanted.
He just wanted me to mention her
Because I think she's outlandishly amazing.
Oh, for sure.
And bold and courageous and healing. I would love to get on campus and sit with her. That would be so cool.
That would be really
That would be really cool. Let's jump right in. When I talk to you guys about, mental wellness and life and all that kind of stuff, what happens when we have things that are happening all around us? Okay, I'll just start with graduation. When we have that thing that's happening and everybody's celebrating us and we're so excited, like, whoo, Thank you, Lord. We're finally out of here. Oh my goodness. But that may be the end of a thing, right? But it's also the beginning of a thing. And sometimes people know what they want to do. Sometimes people don't know what they want to do. And so if your cap could say a word and just tell the story about something you wanted to accomplish, but it didn't necessarily happen, what would that be?
Grades? Because you said one word, so I say grades.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Okay, I say grades because even though I did graduate in a pretty good place in my class, I didn't finish with the grade I wanted to finish with. I graduated with 3.9, but I wanted over a 4.0 to be in the closer to the front row. Yeah. So that's probably, I guess.
She said closer to the front row.
I like that.
Okay, so like, were you like half a row back?
Well, no, because there's a lot of kids in my graduating class this year, and there's a lot of kids who had 3.9s. Yes. So I was maybe like the fourth row from the front row.
And that wasn't close enough. Yeah, no. Okay, be an overachiever then, honey.
Be like 2.
Yes, yes. Not me. Anyway, yeah. Not with the grades, girl. Listen, the academia. Go ahead, honey. Okay. The cap was on, the gown was on. What didn't you accomplish that you really thought you were gonna when you graduated? What was still left on the table?
My future.
Okay.
And I want to piggyback off what she said with grades. For me, I struggled with a little bit of imposter syndrome, let's say. Yeah. I was lazy. I would do the bare minimum to get by. For me, the GPA was just kind of a number. Like, we know we need this to get the diploma. We're just going to do what we need to do to get by. Okay. And I regret that. Okay. As far as my future, I didn't have a plan. So my adult years after high school, I came up with a plan. I had a lot of different career paths. Right. Yeah. I am happy to say I'm very happy where I'm at now. Yes. So I figured it out. But in high school, I had 4 years to kind of plan for it, and I didn't. Didn't take advantage. Why not? Like I said, I was lazy. I did the bare minimum to get by. After high school, I couldn't envision myself doing anything. I couldn't picture, I just didn't know where I would be after I walked that stage. Okay. And so when you have family all around, you know, and family things are happening, and parent things are happening, what caused you not to dive in to make sure you were good with that GPA and your future? Self-doubt. Self-doubt. I wouldn't really, my mental health was okay. I was stable. So I wouldn't really say I was, depressed or anxious. I did experience a little bit of that along the way, but it was all just self-doubt. I was in my head. I didn't see myself being great. I didn't see myself like any of that. And I did. I had all of my family and friends around me, my biggest cheerleaders. Yes. And I appreciate them to this day. Yes. But no matter who was around me or who was supporting me, I had to support myself. I had to sit down with myself and say, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. And this is what I'm going to do to succeed. Right. And that didn't happen until later. And so, of course, I believe, you guys, that this happens with so many of us. We figure it out later. I'm going to come back to that, but I want to make sure Taylor chimes in on this because your parents are extremely in your business. Okay. Yes, they do not play about their children. And so do you believe that that's why you even accomplished the 3.9? Because your parents were like, don't play with me and don't play yourself.
Yeah, for sure. As soon as I got into high school, my mom was like, all A's first year. You have to get all A's first year because that sets you up for the rest of the 3 years. I didn't get all A's my first year, but thankfully I still was able to graduate with my 3.9. But yes, my parents being in my corner definitely like pushed me to get that 3.9. So.
And so, as Easton shared, when we talk about when she was talking about self-doubt and things that just come up, you can have all of the support and then some. Were there any struggles with self-doubt or other things happening that you had to figure out and get extra help on? Because 3.9 is not easy.
Right.
And challenges come, right? Some kids can deal with challenges and they're still going to do the 4.0, you know what I'm saying? And then there are kids like me who, 2.9 on a good day. And I was going through pure hell, okay? Right. Going through pure hell in high school. And so let's talk about some of that. What were some of the challenges that you dealt with that you had to overcome as you pursued that front row seat?
Academically wise, I'd probably say just like the status quo, because oftentimes I do get just okay with the status quo. And that's probably why I didn't get over the 4.0, because I was, like she said, like sometimes I did the bare minimum, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Sure.
Because I was just like, look, I'm already like top of my class. I'm already like up there.
It's a lot of work.
So why do I gotta do this?
Yes.
But, probably the status quo. And probably more personal things that happened in my life were like my brother. I haven't seen my brother in a while. And, having to deal with, but maybe even accepting that I might not see him for God knows how long was definitely something I struggled with while I was in school, because it's like he's missed so much of my life while I was in school.
Yeah.
And my brother was my best friend.
Yeah.
To be growing up, I did everything with my brother. So that was also probably something I struggled with while going through school.
How did you figure your way through that?
My mom. Yeah. We both cried about it. And you learn to accept that I have more people in my corner. Yeah. Although my brother was very important to me.
Yeah.
And he still is very important to me. I still have plenty of family who's cheering me on, who got to see all my milestones happen. So
yeah. And you almost, just like I think just like a physical death, even though that's not, it's grief. Missing someone that you love and trying to figure out how to love them either from afar or from the grave, And so when you talk about the grief that you experienced, when you share that, how are you now? I know you said you talked with your mom, maybe hinted on some depression, and things of that nature. How did you get to a place of peace? As a young person, you just don't see young people saying, I need help. Hello, I'm sending out an SOS, somebody come help me.
Right.
Because there are TikTok trends and there are Snapchats and, the buzzwords are there.
Right.
But you dove in. You decided that you were going to dive in because you needed to in order to be successful. How did you work through that?
For me, it definitely started with forgiving my brother.
Yeah.
Forgiving him for not being there on times where I really wanted him to be there.
Yeah.
And like I said before, just realizing that I'm not alone. Like, even though my brother was dear to me, I still have so much family that is cheering me on through everything that I'm going through right now. And that, I'm not alone. God was definitely a huge part of that.
Right.
I cried a lot.
Yes.
Because at first, when it happens, at first you're like, okay, he's gone.
Yes.
But, he's not dead. And then the grief really hits you. That's like, okay, he might not be dead, but he's not in my life anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So
you feel abandoned almost.
Yes, that's what I felt.
Yeah.
So definitely prayer got me through it. Just learning to forgive my brother, learning that, or just believing that one day I would see him again, even though it's not right now. I kind of just hold on to the belief that one day I will see my brother again.
Yeah. What's the age difference?
What is the age difference? He's born in 1998. I was born in 2006. So what is that? 8 years?
Oh, that is a big difference. Yeah. I understand that. And so I appreciate your being honest and not just saying, I'm sad, or I'm sad and I'm going to stay here. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Because if we decide at any given time that there's something that's hurting us and we're choosing not to process it, what are we going to achieve with that?
Nothing.
So when you think about the missing your brother and things of that nature, have you ever thought that your brother doesn't even understand how amazing he is? You ever think about he doesn't even understand the gift he's missing by being disassociated for whatever reason, And so was there a time even where you took that on and made it personal, like, oh my gosh, I gotta say something, or I gotta pursue him, or, if you love me, if you care, you'd come back, are you gonna come see me? Did any of that happen in your head and in your heart?
Yeah, there were times when, probably when I was a little bit younger, when I texted him and I sent him messages like, this is what's going on in my life, happy birthday, I hope you're doing good, just stuff to check up on him, just, to make sure he's still okay.
Yeah.
And after, I didn't do it very much, but because of course, you got to give people their space.
Sure.
And, I don't want to beg you to come back into my life.
Right.
Like, if you don't want to be in it, you don't want to be in it.
Yeah.
And so that's probably things I did, just tiny gestures just to show that, I'm still here,
Yeah.
even though you think I'm not.
And as a little sister, big brother, it makes sense, And again, I said I was going to come back and piggyback on what some of the stuff you shared already, because jumping right out of high school and living with someone, that's so ginormous.
Yes.
And what prompted that? What prompted that decision to just boom, right, just like that?
It's funny that you ask, because I never wanted to leave home right away.
Mm-hmm.
That was one thing that I knew, is that I love home.
Yes.
I love my parents. I didn't want to leave home right away because I would miss them.
Yes.
And down the road, even when I moved to Gainesville, I would come home every weekend, drive 2.5 hours because I missed them.
Yes.
But I will say, he didn't catch me off guard, but he did come in at a point of my life where it just happened so fast. We fell in love so fast. He had a house at the time, and I started, staying over there a few nights a week, and then it just happened. Now we live together. After that, we moved into a different place together, and just since then, it was right off the bat.
Right. And so you broke up, you came back home.
So we broke up, and I decided, I want to live on my own. I want to get the college experience. I did some community school here in town.
Yeah.
But I was like, I want to move away and get that experience of living on my own, being in school.
Being independent.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not living with somebody, much less a spouse.
Yes.
Right. So I did. I moved away for a year. It was hard, not so much the breakup, just being in a new city. I did have some friends from home that were up there with me. My brother even was up there with me.
Yeah.
But it was just different.
Yes.
I'm a creature of habit. I don't like new surroundings, new things.
Yeah.
I had to learn to,
It's uncomfortable.
It is.
Yes.
It is. But I did adapt in a way. It was fun. I'm very glad that I did it. I have the best memories in such a short amount of time. And then I wanted to move home, and then I ended up getting back with him. So we moved back together for a few years. And now we are broken up, so now I'm back home.
So what's up with the volleying back and forth? What's that about?
So the one breakup and back and forth was that year that I moved to school. Were we no contact that full time? No. We stayed in touch a little bit, but I knew that if I wanted to be with him for the rest of my life, that I had to do this not only for myself, but for us. And I say that because in high school, I was in a relationship. After high school, got into that relationship. And I never got to be by myself.
I'm so glad you said that.
There was a lot that I had to learn about myself. That I had to figure out for myself and not for us.
Right.
It was more of a me, not we.
Yeah. Did you feel selfish in saying, I'm doing this for me, and he's saying, well, no, we need to be together?
No, I didn't. I feel like he tried to make me feel that way, but
that's what they do.
I was pretty stern, and it's funny enough, I didn't tell him, like I had the apartment lease signed and everything 3 months in advance, right? Signed it in May. I leave for school in August. I didn't tell him until right before I left.
Yeah.
Because I knew how I was and I knew how he was. And I didn't want those 3 months to ruin what I had planned for me.
Yes. And so you got back together though.
We did.
So what was left out there that wasn't, summed up the first time?
I was in Gainesville. Gainesville was okay. I had friends there.
Yes.
But again, the whole school thing. I had to come to the realization that maybe school is not for me, and that's okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Again, another career path, another path that God had planned that I didn't envision for myself, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So I stuck it out, moved back home, got back with him, and it was the whole, okay, we're kind of, we worked on ourselves. We worked on what we need to work on within ourselves.
Yeah.
We can get back together now as a couple. We can achieve these things now. You're healed, I'm healed, we're better, we can be better.
Okay.
So that was the last 3 years.
Okay. But then you broke up.
Now we're broken up.
Listen, I'm just trying to understand here, because if y'all were healed and everything, what happened?
There's a lot that happened, and there's nothing that I could pinpoint it on. For example, if it was cheating, I could tell you it was cheating.
Sure.
But it wasn't. It was, we didn't always see eye to eye.
Yeah.
Communication, I'm big on communication. There was a lot of things in the middle that we didn't see eye to eye on. We got along. We were best friends. We did love each other. But at the end of the day, just the little things.
So what did you learn from all of that? I mean, you said you were in relationships even in high school. One, I'm sorry. Just one, y'all. Okay. Just one. Okay. And so the one relationship that ends, you go to school, new, and back and forth home, with this guy. What did you learn about yourself as you are? That's a lot of leaning into somebody else when you should be leaning into you. That's a lot of giving when you really don't even know who you are as a person. So what are your takeaways from the volleyball thing?
The volleying.
Yeah.
So my biggest takeaway that I tell my friends, we talk about it to this day, is that nothing is a loss. Everything, we look at it as a lesson.
Yeah.
And that lesson was, I was 18, I'm 23 now. Just over 5 years. I am very glad that I walked away at the age that I did, because I could have continued and stuck it out and kept having that mindset of, oh, we're going to make this work. This is my person. Then I'm 30.
Yeah.
Starting over at 30. I do feel like I'm starting over in a sense, but I'm 23. So I'm glad that I walked away at the time that I did.
This baby said she's starting over at 23.
I feel like I am.
That's because you've been doing this thing for a little bit.
Yes.
Okay. And so starting over, walking away, I hear you saying you're glad that you did it. I need the takeaways. What are the lessons?
The lesson is, backstory. There's a 6-year age gap.
I knew that.
He's older.
I knew that.
He's older. I was younger. The one thing that he taught me is not to be a wife when I'm a girlfriend, and to put myself first in a relationship. Don't ever put a man, spouse, friend, whatever it is, don't put that person before yourself, because you will lose yourself.
Yes.
So when you are starting over, the journey to finding yourself is harder.
You hear that, girl?
That's some pretty good advice. That's some pretty solid advice.
I always had that tendency to put somebody before myself, no matter how big or how small. But putting that person first for that many years caught up to me. And it bit me in the butt. It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
But I'm so thankful for it.
Absolutely. I think the grace that comes with us making decisions that are just asinine. You know, I mean,
Yes.
we make asinine decisions throughout our lives, and the grace of God is like right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when you are sharing with your girlfriends, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't,
let me tell you.
Right. Don't, if I were you, I probably wouldn't do that. I'd probably wait a little while.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'd probably wait a little while. And so the lesson is, let's wait a while.
Yes.
For myself.
Yes.
Not for anybody else.
Yes.
For me. Because I call it by assimilation, by osmosis. We passively pick up stuff because we're watching people. Mm-hmm. We're watching family members. We're watching community. We're watching culture. You know, we pick up stuff. And what did you passively pick up that would put you in a mindset that I should be in a very serious relationship in high school and immediately after?
It definitely was not planned, but as it happened, so I didn't see it that way.
Okay.
Until a few years in.
Okay.
Right? I probably, in between one long relationship to the next, in between, I probably was by myself for a few months. But the difference was my relationship in high school, yes, it was a few years. Mm-hmm. We were at different schools, lived about an hour away. I didn't see him. We both had very busy schedules. I probably saw him a few times.
But you were emotionally committed.
Correct.
That's a lot.
It is.
To be emotionally committed to another individual in high school.
Yes.
When your brain ain't even finished developing.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm asking these particular questions, because when you are emotionally committed as much as you can be as a kid, how did you finally say, you know what I'm saying? I know you're probably thinking the same thing. How did you finally say, this isn't probably supposed to be this way? I need some individuality. I need some self-compassion.
Right.
I need some self-care. I need to focus on Easton.
Yes. I need to focus on me.
Yeah.
I need to focus on volleyball.
Yes.
On graduating.
Yeah.
All of the things.
Yeah.
So it was a strong emotional attachment. Like I said, we didn't see each other as much, you know?
Yeah.
Ironically, this happened during the pandemic, 2020.
Yeah.
COVID, coronavirus.
Right.
So
Whew.
When that breakup happened, the whole world was different. Everything was different. If I wanted to see him, I probably wouldn't get to see him as much unless we just quarantined together and were stuck in the same room for 14 days.
Yeah.
Which we never did.
Right.
I didn't live with him. I wouldn't spend the night with him.
Right.
It was we go on dates, we text, we FaceTime.
Right.
So I think, honestly, the pandemic had a lot to do with that, because it was just a weird time for everybody.
That's
and
true.
For everything.
That's true.
And I just got to the point where I didn't get bored of him, but it was to the point like we're doing long distance, but we live an hour apart. Our schedules, we can't make it work. It was more so, I think we're just friends.
Yeah.
Or meant to be friends, maybe not.
Do you think there was some growing up, some becoming, some developing happening in that? You know what I mean? Where kind of the natural ascension of, okay, you know, I kind of, jumped the gun here a little bit. And so I'm going to not jump the gun, and I'm just going to slow my roll a little bit.
Right.
You know, I'm just going. And so we got polar opposites here. In high school, committed emotionally, dating for you relationship with you looks like what? What is, when you formulate that, you know what I'm saying? You're getting ready to go to college, girl. You know what I'm saying? Talk about that. Like, for the girl who has been dedicated to grades and sports and finding yourself, coming through, bouts of depression with life and all kinds of stuff. How have you put, kind of put your thoughts together as to, I'm excited, I'm not excited. I want a boyfriend, I don't want a boyfriend. I'm not concerned about that. Two polar opposites here.
I'm not gonna lie. I've never been in a relationship before, but there have been times where, of course, like I feel like all of us don't want to be alone.
Yes.
But I don't think I've ever wanted. Okay, I've wanted to have a boyfriend before, but I don't want the emotional turmoil and all that stuff that goes with being in a relationship.
Like what she was talking about.
Right. Yes. Good. Because I've never been in a relationship with another boy before, but I have been in an emotional relationship with a friend of mine where I was just very emotionally close to her and everything that was going on in her life, and it's very draining.
Yes.
So that has definitely soured just even like relationships with boyfriends for me, because like you said, like when we enter into relationships with people when we're not healed,
yes,
it just kind of makes everything a lot more difficult for
yes.
us. So
oh yeah.
I've definitely tried to keep my distance when it comes to like getting in relationships with people, because I'm not ready to take on people's baggage, because I feel like sometimes I'm like a sponge sometimes.
Yes.
When it comes to just sucking up people's problems. And although I do think it's nice for us to carry each other's burdens, sometimes we take on those burdens on ourselves instead of taking it to the cross like we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. And so, I want to reframe that, because we're not supposed to take on each other's burdens. We are supposed to create safe spaces for one another. So I want to make sure you hear my heart with that. It is not your responsibility to take on anybody's heaviness, ever.
Right.
It is our responsibility as believers to say, I care enough about you. Can I pray with you? Can I check in on you? And if you feel it weighing heavy on you, you take your cares to the Lord, because He cares. So if you're caring about somebody else so much that it's weighing you down, that's a great reminder that you have not prayed about it, and you sure have not cast it. You have not cast that thing off at all. If it's keeping you up at night or making you feel jittery or anxious or what have you, you're doing too much.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like that. Yeah.
You're doing too much. You have to make sure the clarity that's happening in between your relationship, not only with God, but with yourself, is I'm peaceful. I'm compassionate. I'm determined, but I'm not going to be a sponge, because that's not my job. That's not why I was created. And so you can feel a thing so strongly, and folks call it, the empath, and I say, and there's another path, and that path is to cast all that off, because before you know it, I'm going to be worried sick. I'm not going to be emotionally stable, and I'm not going to be able to get anything done because I've taken on all of these things from other people. That is not our responsibility. And so as you navigate that thing that looks like that guy who is showing some interest, it's okay to have steps to this thing. Every friendship won't lead to romance or dating, or what have you, but you can be so kind of, with that bridle on so tough that you'll miss out on great relationships and friendships with folks who are supposed to be a part of your tribe. But if you're thinking, oh gosh, he likes me, I'm not ready for that. You never know. You know what I'm saying? And so if those particular people are coming into our lives and we already have this preconceived notion about what it is that we want, we got to be careful with that too, because we don't know what's going to happen, right? And so we can't be so, I'm going to plan it this way, I'm going to think this way, I'm not going to think this way, and this is how it's going to be. We can miss out on so many beautiful opportunities. And so, like Easton was sharing, it wasn't planned. It wasn't planned. So it is good to have purpose. We'll end with this. The purpose. Are you still finding yours? Are you aware? Are you coming into that? Have you been able to embrace who God created you to be? Because not knowing your purpose is what I'm finding as a 20-something year life coach. My oldest client being 78, almost 79.
Wow.
17 pills a day because of anxiety, because of depression, because of triggers from when she was 7, 8, 9, 11 years old. And those things never, ever, ever being healed.
Right.
And not knowing her purpose, because those things became her identity.
Mm-hmm.
That pain, the abandonment of her parents, them choosing her brother over her and paying him more attention, leaving her at home for, very long periods of time. She became afraid of the dark. She became afraid of being alone. There were so many different things, but I'm telling you, 78 years old.
Wow.
And so purpose, what's yours?
I don't think I've completely found it, but I believe my purpose has to do something with justice.
Okay, I love it. Why? Why justice? What do you think?
I don't know. I want to be a lawyer. I can't stand the innocent being hurt. I can't stand the innocent being taken advantage of. And this world is very messed up, and I don't know. I want to be a part of fixing it.
Mm-hmm. What would you fix first?
The laws.
Well, you can't be an attorney. You got to be a judge. And
Well, I want to be a lawmaker one day, of course.
Okay, lawmaker.
Okay, let me start.
Lawmaker.
As far as a lawyer, I do
because that's policy.
Right.
Yes.
As far as being a lawyer, I do want to help the defenseless, those who were proven guilty before. Those who were said to be guilty before having the ability to show that they were innocent. Mm-hmm. Like how the media can make people look a certain way without having the evidence to prove that.
Sure.
So I want to be there for the defenseless.
Listen, even when the evidence is there,
right,
they still spin it. Mm-hmm. What about you? You're a little bit older, so.
My purpose, and to piggyback off what she said, it is something that I still don't have a final answer, but something that I've learned and kind of along the way have taught myself is I know my purpose day to day. Anyone that I come across, I want to make their day. I want to be the reason that someone has a smile on their face. Whether it's a stranger, a homeless person, an employee, a friend, anybody that I come across in my day, I want to be part of the highlight of their day. Mm-hmm. And quite literally now in my career field, I work at a pediatric dentist and orthodontist, and I'm an orthodontic treatment coordinator. So kids or adults, when they come in for their orthodontic consultation, and I know that they come to me because they're not happy with their smile, right? Mm-hmm. They want braces, they want Invisalign and whatnot. And quite literally, I can be the reason that they smile. Mm-hmm. I can be the reason that whether it's 1.5 years, 2 years, however long their treatment is, every day that they come in and visit me, and then when they're done with their treatment, I am part of their journey to smiling, to being happy, and confident within themselves.
Yeah. So who's your safe place? You do all of that for people. Who, one, how do you take care of yourself to make sure you're able to pour out? Because doing that every day, it may be your title and position, your occupation, but that is a state of mind. Yeah. It is a state of mind to say, I'm good, I'm healthy, I'm well mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I feel safe, so I'm a safe place. What happens when those folks who are like us need a safe place? Who's your safe people? Who's your tribe?
So my safe place, definitely first my mom. Good, bad, sad, whatever news, I can take it to her. Whether she gives me advice, whether she cries with me, whatever it may be, I know I can always count on her. And I also have 2 or 3 close friends that I could call them and say, girl, guess what happened today? Or guess who just texted me? Or guess what happened? Drama, anything. I could tell them, hey, I'm having a bad day. Can we go out to eat? Yeah, of course. Let's go get your favorite appetizer. I have a few friends and I have my mom. So those people are in my corner whenever I do have bad days, especially a bad day, a bad night, a bad weekend before I go into work. I don't like to say that I fake the smile because I don't. I'm guilty of, in my past, faking a smile, going through lots of things and just faking a smile for the world.
Right.
But I don't. I learned to deal with that. And what helped me a lot with that is positive affirmations in the morning or at night, just telling myself, you are worthy, you're strong, you're beautiful, you can't be anything, or there's nothing that you can't be. Anything coming your way, you can overcome. It's okay. Just take a deep breath and remind myself every morning, night.
Right. So, real quick, how do you influence your generation for good? How do you do that?
If I could tell anybody in this generation one thing, be yourself and stay true to yourself. If you don't know what that looks like, if you haven't found yourself, it's okay to experience and try new things, whether it be a style, whether it be what you like to do, whatever it may be or what it may look like, be yourself. Don't be this person, just stay true to yourself.
And so how do you stay true to yourself when you're still learning who you are? How do you do that? Give me some, give me some help here, because staying true to yourself, I have a definition, but I'm 54.
Right.
I'm 54. So what's your 23-year-old definition of staying true to yourself?
This might be like a very Gen Z answer.
That's what I mean. That's the generation.
For example, social media.
Yes.
The materialistic things. Some of the influencers on social media that influence our generation.
Yeah.
Behind that camera, they might be a horrible person.
Right.
Their morals might be different of what they show.
Yes.
Their beliefs might be different than what they show.
Yeah.
So.
What about it? What about it?
I don't know. I don't want to say a lot into detail, but the root and the internal version of you should be what you express on the outside.
Yes. Okay.
It's not always what's on you. It has to be what's in you.
That's for sure. In other words, you can have drip from Walmart, okay?
Very true.
I'm just saying.
You could have on a $10,000 outfit and
your soul
$10
is
in your bank account.
Right. Yeah. And it's a thing.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. Okay, Taylor, tell me about that.
Okay, the first question, the one about how you inspire the generation?
Yes.
Okay, me, I do that by just loving your neighbor. Like God tells us to do. Just love your neighbor. It doesn't matter who they are, whether you have problems with them, whether they don't live life the way you think they should live life. You should just love each other. It's not our job to condemn other people.
Right.
God told us to love our neighbor. So
how do you do that though, day to day? I mean, you've been in school with a bunch of kids, graduation's done and all that kind of stuff. But how do you practically show love to your neighbors? I think it's easy to show love to people who love us and folks who think like us and live like us. But for those who may be just the opposite, how do you go about doing that?
This might be a generic answer, but it's just like I have to envision the things I've done and how God shows grace to me. So even though there are times where I haven't been as loving as I should have been to God, he still chose to love me.
Mm-hmm.
He still chose to die for me on the cross. So
Yeah.
So, and it also takes grace and a lot of patience and forgiveness, because you have to realize that you don't know what that person's going through in their life.
That's right.
So the
and
way
it's
they're
not
acting,
okay to assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the way they're acting might be based on the things that they're going through in
That's
life.
right.
And it might just because they're a really awful person, but it
Yes.
doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, it's not my
Maybe
job.
they were born awful.
Right. But it's not my job to determine that. It's my job to love you. So that's how I get through it.
Because sometimes it could be a test for our character.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know?
Kill him with kindness.
You know, it could be a test for our character, like how you really gonna show up.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, Miss, love them anyway.
Right.
Miss, I'm gonna make them smile today. And then you get challenged,
Right.
and then how do we, what'd you say?
You got to be about it.
Be about it.
Be
And
about
so
it.
listen, the drip has been here with the young people today. And we're going to keep doing this, and whenever I get the opportunity. And so I am just thankful for your
Thank you.
transparency and you sharing, space and time with me today as you get ready to jump into LSU. Safe travels.
Thank
The
you.
Lord be with you and protect you always. And I may see you in Fish Hawk, girl. I don't know.
Yes, you might.
I know, right? But I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
Of course, your mom is, a golden gem to me. She's an angel to me. And I am just really, really, really proud of her as well.
Yes.
Both it's all good. And so it just makes sense
Oh.
that you would be here
Yeah.
with this maturity, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I know it is difficult to figure out, golly, I have these emotions.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee, and I feel things so strongly. That's why I shared what I shared with you. It is not our job to take on the feelings of the world.
You're right.
It is our job to make sure that we pray for people and we take good care of ourselves, because we have to have a capacity. We have to have a capacity for strength. And when we take on the cares of the world and all these people, what have you, that are coming and going in our lives, it fills up quickly, weighs us down. That weight cannot be carried for long periods of time without it totally affecting everything about our lives. And so I'm so proud of you for processing what you experienced with your brother and what that meant for your heart. That's maturity. That's maturity in a big, big way. I know adults who are 3 and 4 and 5 times your age who have not processed that type of pain. And so I'm thankful that you have parents like you do, and they are in your business and right there, boom.
Yep,
That's such a big deal. And I don't know if you understand how truly, 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 truly blessed you are to have a mom, and a dad that's just immediately available without making them your little God. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Without worshiping them, like, don't be weird. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, and so it is so good to, for my heart to see young women resetting, goals still there to achieve. You're so young, but don't wait. Get after it. Get after it.
Yeah.
Go big. Listen, the stratosphere is not big enough. The stratosphere is not big enough. We were created for so much greatness.
Yeah.
And I want to celebrate you for another 5 years and another 10 years and 10 and 5 after that, because there's so much greatness within each of you. And for you owning that,
Thank you.
kudos.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Of course.
Thank you.
Listen, y'all. Y'all got the cheese, the grits, the sausage. You got the deets. Thank you for tuning in. I love young people. Oh my gosh, near and dear to my heart. I am so, so, so proud of these young women. Next time, I'm going to have some young men on, and we're going to get some drip from the guys. But in the meantime, listen, keep tuning in because this gets gooder and gooder and gooder and gooder. Thanks for tuning in to the Apology Podcast. Your girl, Lisa Sunshine. I will see you next time.